I'm John Weisbarth, and I'm a huge fan of the tiny house movement that's exploding across the nation. The average American home is 2,300 square feet, but lots of people are deciding that bigger isn't necessarily better, and they're choosing to live in homes that are just 1/10 the average size. Whether they're after financial independence or desire to live with less, inspired homeowners are starting to think outside the blueprints of everyday building, and that's where I come in. I travel across the country with my partner, tiny house expert Zach Giffen, and together we help people build their mini dream homes.
Oh my!
A zip line!
And get them prepared for the extreme downsizing it takes to live in under 500 square feet.
I think it might be a little small. This doesn't look much fun.
Trust me, tiny homes are the next big thing. We're back down south again this week in Raleigh, North Carolina, the city of Oaks, and you can see why looking around. Trees everywhere, but just outside of this booming metropolis is a countryside that's just waiting to be explored. I'm on my way right now to meet the Setliff family, Brian and Caroline, and their two boys, Rivers, 9, and Jack, who's 6. The Setliffs want to try an experiment in tiny. They're going to rent out their big house in Raleigh for the entire summer and spend all 3 months living tiny in the country.
So what we see is the trap that a lot of kids these days are falling into, and that's just, coming home, jumping on the computer, hanging out on the couch, and just not getting outside enough.
That's what we hope to get out of this house, is to have some woods and for them to play and run around in and just be boys.
Brian and Caroline ultimately just want to have more meaningful life experiences with their boys, Rivers and Jack, and they hope they can achieve this by going tiny.
This is going to be a chance to unplug, unwind, and do things as a family. And so we're incredibly excited to see how it all plays out.
We have a good budget this week, $65K. And Zach is with our contractor, Paul, at the build site, which is in Saxbahaw. It's about an hour from Caroline and Brian's big house. Basically, getting everything up and running so we can get this project moving.
I really like the layout of the house, but you know what I like even more is that it's on a foundation. Unlike the trailer builds, we have a little more leeway if we want to change up the floor plans. So we have a true master bedroom on the main floor, and then the boys' sleeping loft is above the living area. The only red flag that I saw in the whole thing is just the size of the kids' lofts is they're super teeny. They might need just a little bit more of a place to call their own, but we'll have plenty of time to address that when we get to it.
Absolutely.
Now that the foundation's set, Zach jumps right in to help the crew with the framing, and this tiny house is off to a great start. I'm on my way right now to meet Brian, Caroline, and the kids at a place called the Launching Pad. It's one of the few places that Brian and Caroline can take the kids to get them away from the video games. Trampoline park? Yes, please. Caroline, Brian, good to see you guys. How are you? This place is awesome. I've been here all of 4 seconds, and I'm ready to get my shoes off and start jumping.
The boys have a lot of energy, and we think places like this just work perfect. But then again, you have to hop in the car and drive about 20 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
And so, if we can just run out the back door, then, we're all happy.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're hoping for.
Well, tell you what, I kind of want to go out and say hi to the boys.
All right,
plus,
let's do it.
Get a little jumping in. Maybe that's a good excuse for us to come over and say hi. What's going on, guys?
So this is John.
What's up, buddy?
Hi.
What do you guys think about this whole idea of going tiny?
I think it's going to be super different.
Yeah, super different?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for you guys, too. See these 4 trampolines, these 4 little boxes? This is roughly the size of what your tiny house is going to be.
Is there going to be trampolines in it?
No, there's not going to be trampolines in it, but we're going to have to make sure you guys have plenty to do.
Okay.
But you guys bounce around for a little bit more, and then I'd love to go see the house that you're living in now.
All right.
Thank you.
Tell me I'm going to bounce with the kids, too.
All right.
Look.
Back at the build site, Zach and the crew have made great progress framing out the house. But before the crew gets started on the frame for the boys' bedroom lofts, Zach has a plan to make their sleeping space larger.
This is what I wanted to show you because that's the entire bedroom.
That's it.
What I wanted to do was bump out the floor of the loft into this space in the living room just a bit.
We have about 16 to 20 inches we could take it out.
I think it's important. It gives these guys a feeling like they actually have their own room.
We'll draw it out and do it.
Okay.
While the crew continues to frame out the house, I'm meeting Caroline, Brian, and their 2 boys back at their big house in Raleigh to get a better sense of what they're looking for in their new tiny house.
Hey!
How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Good, good. Everyone here?
Everybody's right in here.
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
All right, how are you?
Good. This place is awesome. How big is it?
3,000 square feet.
Okay, 3,000 square feet, and we're going down to 350 square feet.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of nervous about just sort of losing, my own space.
It's important to make sure that everyone does have a space. Even if it's not necessarily separated by walls, that's what makes living tiny really work.
And it could be a hammock in the corner or
Exactly.
anything like
Yeah,
that. It's not like I'm expecting private,
Wing of
Wing.
the house.
Yeah. A hammock in the corner is a wing in a tiny house.
All right, right
okay.
on.
Yeah.
And how about you, Caroline? Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I just want it
could
to
be a
feel very
space.
cozy, modern and rustic at the same time,
Okay.
and no electronics at all. That's going to be our rule. And just kind of get back to the basics and just enjoy nature.
You know what's funny? You guys talking about unplugging and technology and stuff, and I'm looking over the corner of my eye. The theme for this tiny house, no technology. Not no electricity, we're gonna have that, but we wanna unplug the kids and get them enjoying the outdoors and the family. What do you think about the whole no electronics thing?
I don't like that idea one bit.
Yeah, I know that feeling. And I'm gonna put Zach on the plan of making this the coolest tiny house out in the woods that 2 kids have ever seen.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check on Jack. What are you doing, man?
Playing a video game?
Just playing your video game. Wow, you've got a lot of video games, don't you?
Yeah.
Or do you understand why your parents wanna do this going tiny thing?
No.
I think they wanna get you kids outside a little bit more. You're not really buying it, are you? It's funny, until you start really looking at how ubiquitous electronics are in our lives, you don't really notice it. But I'm looking, and I'm noticing. See you, boys.
See ya.
We've really got our work cut out for us. Brian, Caroline, and the boys are going from a 3,000 square foot historic home to a 350 square foot vacation home of their dreams. The exterior design combines pine, metal siding, and a dramatic roofline to give it a rustic, modern look. The main living area has a direct connection to the wraparound deck through an industrial-style garage door. That, along with ample windows, provide plenty of natural light. They'll also have a small galley kitchen and a full-size bathroom. Brian and Caroline have asked for their own private space, so we're giving them a bedroom on the main floor, while their boys, Rivers and Jack, will have their own sleeping lofts, which will be just large enough to fit 2 twin-size mattresses. We'll also need to build the family a custom dining table that will seat 4. And we're doing this entire foundation build on a budget of $65,000. This is the great outdoors for right now, huh?
That's right. That's right.
This is not a bad space.
No, it's pretty great.
It's not that they don't run around and do stuff. It's just you want to encourage more of that.
Exactly. I went camping with my dad a ton growing
Yeah.
up, and we want our boys to have that.
That makes sense. And I see the bikes are a big deal for the boys.
They love riding their bikes, but I would love to see that on a trail in the woods.
Okay. I've got a good feel for what I need to go back and talk to Zach about now, and I think he's gonna really enjoy the idea of having to ramp up an outdoors area and all that. So,
Okay.
All right, thanks. See you, boys.
See ya.
I'm off to the build site where the crew has been making progress bumping out the boys' lofts 16 extra inches. I need to update Zach on my meeting with the family, and I've got a really cool idea for a way to maximize the outdoor space that I think is gonna make the boys and Zach very happy.
You meet the family?
I did. I met them. They're awesome.
Sweet.
You're gonna like them. One thing real quick, you got your phone on you?
Yeah. What do you need?
I just hand it over for a sec. I want you to think technology-free zone. They want to get back to nature. That's why they want this place. But here's the thing, and I don't know if you should sit down or not, but you know what I'm thinking? I think I get to finally turn you loose.
Are you telling me?
I'm telling you.
For real? This time is real?
Dreams come true.
Yeah.
Zip lines. It's that kind of build.
Ever since I've been working with John, I've been trying to make a zip line, and now it's finally gonna happen. I cannot believe it. So back to nature really means just like extraordinary, epic, awesome playhouse.
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe these kids won't even know that they don't have video games.
That's exactly
I
it.
think this is great.
All right, man. You finally get your dream. Zip lines might seem like they're easy to build, but they actually take a lot of engineering know-how. I'm gonna have to find some experts to bring in and help Zach on this one. Oh, hey,
What?
you can have this back.
Oh, that's a good thing. I actually don't need it, and then you can't call me and bother me with new things to do.
It's day 2 of the build, and Brian and Caroline's 350 square foot tiny foundation home is beginning to take shape. With the framing now complete, the crew is busy sheathing and wrapping the exterior. And I'm bringing the Setliffs to our build site so they can check out their tiny experiment for the first time. Hey, Zach, we got some visitors.
All right, I think I know who these guys are.
Yep.
How's it going? I'm Zach.
Nice to meet you.
What do you guys think?
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, come on.
It actually is.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
You guys are here at a really good time. Let's go check it out now. Watch your
All right.
feet.
You guys ready to walk the plank?
Here, I'll
Yeah.
support John.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. Thanks, Zach. I know you guys have been waiting.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get to see some of the more modern elements. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we got front door here, and then this is actually gonna be a garage door that's gonna give you plenty of access to the outside. Back on that wall, it's gonna be the kitchen, cabinets all the way across. This is more like the living room area couch.
Okay. So kitchen here,
Yes,
and then
door to the bathroom. Yeah.
Okay.
This space in the center is where everything else happens, so.
What do you guys think?
It's smaller it's smaller on the inside.
It feels a little bit smaller once you get in here.
Yeah. My favorite part about the house was I don't really know yet, actually.
This is a construction site right now. Like, I get it. I mean, it barely looks like a house. I mean, there's no walls. Like, it will certainly start to look a little bit bigger once it's done. And I know it's hard to picture right now.
Where do we sleep?
Well, your mom and dad sleep in the master bedroom, and you and your brother sleep in the loft.
Well, I think it might be a little, small.
It is small, but really, it's just a place to sleep.
You know, you guys are gonna climb up there, you're gonna go to bed, but as soon as you're waking up, then you come right back down here and you're just having fun in the rest of the space.
This doesn't look much fun. It's pretty small. There's not much room to have fun.
Well,
This doesn't look much fun.
it's not much fun here.
Pretty small. There's not much room to have fun.
Well, these kids are not happy. However, they don't know what I have planned. There's one thing that I will absolutely claim to, and that's being a designer of fun things. I think, Jack, that we can make this fun.
Listen, if Zach says it's gonna be fun, trust me, it's gonna be fun. Deal?
All right.
All right,
deal.
good. Let's
know
get
we
out of
can
here.
make it fun.
Yeah, of course. So, that didn't go well. I gotta talk to Zach and see if we can figure out a way to make these boys' lofts more fun. Those kids were, they just didn't look happy. They're like, this is the house.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about their lofts, and I think I have an idea that they'll like. A divider in between their rooms, we open it up so it can be, you know, open at some times, they can interact, they can play with each other before sleep, and then boom, it closes up. And I was thinking, why not turn that opening into like a ping pong table? So they both come down.
Is there enough room for that?
It's gonna come down, and then they'll have to play on their beds. Like, they'll be in a sitting position, but that's,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, just as long as it's cool.
This is definitely multi-purpose.
Okay.
Multi-purpose fun access.
Okay. Then I'm sold. All right. It's day 3 of the build. While Zach gets started on the custom ping pong table wall that will divide the boys' loft in two, a shipment of metal panels has arrived. The crew plans to use it as exterior siding and as cover for the large deck eave in order to give our tiny house a modern look. Up top, the roofers have started tar papering. Meanwhile, I've asked the Setliffs to join me at the Paper Hand Puppet Company. I have an exercise that I'm hoping will show Rivers and Jack, and maybe even their parents, that you can have fun by purely using your imagination. Paper Hand Puppet Company built tiny houses right here out of cardboard. They're actually in the Raleigh Museum of Art right now.
Wow.
And what I'm gonna have you guys do is construct your house, at least the common room. And then we'll spend a little time in 15.5 by 13 feet, and we'll see how the imagination goes. All the cardboard we're gonna build it with is here. Here are all the tools. So let's start, guys. Back when I was a kid, the key to being entertained was imagination. So I'm gonna give the boys a little imagination test. This is the area that you guys are spending really the vast amount of your time in when you're inside. Smaller than you're used to, isn't it, Rivers?
Yes.
Let me paint a picture for you guys. It's a nice summer afternoon. All of a sudden, clouds roll in, torrential downpour. You're stuck inside in this space for 3-4 hours. I'm thinking 30 minutes in this area with nothing to entertain yourselves except each other and your imagination.
I think that's a little hard.
You think it's a little hard?
Yeah.
You're doing this as a family. I'll step outside and we'll see what we can do. All right?
You lock that behind you?
Yeah, I will. Sorry, let me get that locked.
What if we do make one of those little footballs we used to make? Act like that's a ledge. Get it to go just over. Oh, all right, too far. All right, Riv's got it. Back up. Oh, that's a touchdown. Now you kick your extra point. So Jack, hold your, you make a field goal, and he's gonna try to kick it through there. Now low.
It's starting very well. They're all playing, having a good time.
I made stairs.
That's creative.
All right.
And it took, what, 5 minutes before it was Board City, population 4.
Let's try to get the bottle cap.
Is there any wine in the fridge?
We had fun in the beginning, but kinda got boring. Yeah. I'm gonna make myself dizzy. I don't want to be bored.
I tell you what, I think it's time to call this. Come on over here. Honest impression.
That was a long half hour.
Yeah. That wasn't the outcome I was expecting.
They're gonna need to have something to do.
Look, the message is clear. I'm gonna have to come up with even more ways to help entertain the boys and mom and dad inside as well.
He's ready to go outside now.
Yeah, he's putting on his shoes. I'd say we get out of here. Back at the build site, while the crew is busy installing the metal panels to the roof, Zach is starting to build the dining table that Carolyn and Brian have asked for. And I've got yet another project in mind for them. We need to hook these kids up with an entertainment system.
We're unplugging these guys.
Yeah, we need to redefine
Yeah.
what an entertainment center is.
So it's like something to replace their television and all their gaming systems.
Exactly.
That's hard.
I don't bring you the easy problem, Zach.
You know, it can't just be one thing. It's got to be like a storage unit with just games and art supplies.
Do we have room for something like that?
This is a small house, but it's a huge living room. So
Okay.
I was actually just doing a dining room table.
Okay.
And there's a chance that this could just be repurposed for the whole like entertainment zone. It would fold down to a tabletop. They could do their artwork, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
So imagine you have like basically like an armoire,
Okay.
you know, so it's got doors, hold
Yeah.
things in,
Yeah.
and it pivoted in the center, and it pulls out from the wall. Now it locks in place, and it's a nice table.
Understood.
And I can build that for you.
Okay. If you can build that, I'll figure out what to fill it with. There are many multifunctional ways to turn what would normally be dead space and walls and furniture into hours of entertainment. Under this tabletop hides a full-size regulation pool table offering hours of entertainment hidden in plain sight. Consider surprising your guests with this clever trick. For an impromptu game of darts, try hiding the board in the negative space behind a painting and reveal it at game time. Need to relieve stress? Here's an ultra-modern couch that transforms into a punching bag. When it comes to incorporating activities into furniture, the possibilities are endless. Meanwhile, inside our tiny house, the insulation is going in and the bathroom tiles are being laid. And on the outside, I'm about to help Zach with an aspect of this build that you'd never expect to see on a tiny house.
There's nothing about being a tiny house expert that prepares you for beams like this.
The design of this house calls for a large, extended eave over the wraparound deck. One of the most striking features of this design are these huge, beautiful beams. But they're heavy. I mean, they weigh in at 1,000 pounds each. Installing them is not gonna be easy. Hold on, guys, watch it below, dude. If he drops that, it's right on your face.
This is gonna support the entire weight of our overhanging kind of extended eave. I think it's gonna be great, but.
We just gotta get in place. This is not a tiny job for a tiny house.
Tiny house, massive beam.
Getting these beams lifted into place is no small task. I mean, this is all hands on deck. We've got Greg up on the cherry picker lifting the beams, and Zach and I are trying to wrangle these things into the right spot so we can get them set. First beam, a little scary, but we got it in fine. Second beam went in pretty easily. Third beam, I figured, yeah, more the same. Okay, that's good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful, careful. Whoa, 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 whoa. When that thing went, there was no stopping it, and it's going right at Zach. Hold on. Just slow, guys, nice and easy.
Pull on in there, John.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Watch your hands.
Yep, let's lower it in. It looks perfect on my side.
I'm holding here, I won't let her go. We're just really, really lucky that the strap held on the cherry picker. I mean, someone could have really gotten hurt, but crisis avoided. Dude, I thought that whole thing was coming down.
You can build a lot of tiny houses and not be prepared for a beam like that. Yeah.
Let's get going. We avoided major mishap and were able to get the remaining pillars in place. Even with that monumental feat complete, Zach's not skipping a beat. With many projects to tackle and no time to waste, he's working into the night on the dining table that will double as an old-school toy storage cabinet. It's day 4, and Zach and the crew have turned their attention to the interior. The knotty pine wood walls are being assembled and fastened into place, and the ceiling panels are being installed. A garage door that opens onto the deck is being hung, giving our tiny house a modern feel and a connection to the outdoors. The Setliff's experiment in tiny isn't gonna work unless we're able to build them an epic, awesome playhouse that's technology-free and gets the boys outdoors. I don't think we're there yet. I mean, I'm still looking for a zipline expert to help Zach with that build, but I do have one more idea that I think just might seal the deal. We really have to up the game out here. And I know that we've got a zip line going in. I know that we're working on a game center inside. I want more outside. I mean, they're kids. They love riding the bikes. And so I want a bike track. And I've heard you tell stories about doing
kickers,
this.
You want jumps.
I mean, yeah, and like maybe bank turns.
If we want to do a bike course, I say we just try to do, circumference the entire house. The tricky thing is making sure the track isn't going to stick out like a sore thumb. I think it comes down to landscaping, really. And I want the track to kind of blend into the landscaping instead of dominating, but give them something that's just really fun, playful. We can make swoops and banks.
Okay.
Like, these kids are just gonna love this place.
I totally agree. With a bike course and a zip line, I think we've got outdoor entertainment pretty much figured out. And for indoor entertainment, Zach's nearly finished up the dining table that doubles as a toy storage cabinet. So now we've just got to stock it. I'm meeting Caroline and the boys at the Hypermind toy store where Rivers and Jack don't know it yet, but they both just hit the jackpot. I know that it's a little bit tough, and the idea about going to the tiny house without electronics seems boring and terrible and the worst thing ever, but it's not, and that's why we're here. There are no electronic games here. These are all board games, brain games, games of the imagination. We've dipped into the budget, and essentially I'm gonna let you guys go on a shopping spree. Get whatever games you want in here, okay?
Really?
Yes.
It's a miracle.
That's right, it's a miracle, exactly. So let's have at it, all right? That's cool.
Dad would love that. Yeah, that looks like fun.
So this is probably gonna be hard to choose from all because you have so much.
So you didn't find anything you liked?
I'm really excited. I think we picked out some good board games.
I mean, oh, you're going back for more. Okay. I think these are the last two. All right. Wow.
We got a ton of board games, so I was like, awesome!
I just got to call Zach and make sure we add an extra room to the tiny house now. It's day 5, and Zach and the crew are cruising along on Caroline and Brian's tiny house. I'm meeting up with Zach because I found the perfect company to help him build his outdoor dream project. Got a couple guys I want you to meet. Isaac and Sean from Beanstalk Builders.
What's going on, Zach?
They're the zipline guys.
I definitely have picked out a spot that looks perfect to me. There's a little bit of a clearing already through the forest.
Oh, good.
And I think that we could maybe run a zip line and not have to take out too much trees.
We love being tree friendly.
What I'd really like to do is connect it to the porch.
Shouldn't be a
You
problem.
could actually build some sort of fort or tree house.
So it's a tree house too, because these kids would probably just like lose their heads.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted them to be in the woods and not in the house, so that's...
Yeah, we gotta have a little
we'll
something
keep them
out
out
there.
there.
You can see kind of the space that the zip line might go, and we can just kind of get rid of some of these little shrubs. I think that the obvious choice would be one of these two.
This tree is a big tree. The problem, though, is down here where it's hollow underneath, which means that this tree is failing, and it's just not gonna work.
We're in Saxbahaw, North Carolina, building a fun-filled tiny house for Brian, Caroline, and their 2 boys, Rivers and Jack. Zach and the specialists from Beanstalk Builders are about to start on the zip line.
This tree is a big tree. The problem, though, is down here where it's hollow underneath, which means that this tree is failing. So normally you wouldn't want to anchor a zip line off of something like this. And I definitely see a lot of white oaks in the area. White oaks are the strongest, best root system, stout as can be.
You see that one leaning to the right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a big bow. Right to the left of that, that's the white oak.
Yep, I see
That could be an option.
You guys are the pros. I say have at it.
The zip line starts at the back of the deck, and the first thing we have to do is ground the posts. Once that's in place, then we run our cable about 300 feet through the woods to a white oak tree that we picked as our end point. Any trees or large shrubs that are in the way are gonna have to get cut down and pulled out. Then we get started on the tree house, which is gonna be the base of the zip line, and it's pretty much just a raised landing pad. Once we built it, then we gotta hoist it up to the appropriate height and secure it to the tree.
A little bit more.
I cannot wait to see the look on these boys' faces when they ride this thing for the first time.
The Setliffs won't have the only tiny house with a zip line. We're headed to an island off the coast of Maine to visit the Tiny Island Treehouse. This 350 square foot house was designed with one main purpose in mind: to create family fun in a technology-free, natural environment. Mark Parker is the property manager.
The family lives a very fast-paced life. This is a place where they can kind of come, deflate, and just enjoy the outdoors and nature.
This tiny home, located not far from the homeowner's main house, was originally conceived as a place for their children to play and as an overflow space for adventurous house guests.
This might be a tiny house, but it's got a king-size bed.
There's a master bedroom loft and an open living area. The entire house is made out of natural wood, along with reclaimed and salvaged materials, giving it a classic rustic cabin feel.
We had dug for floors, natural rough-cut boards on the inside, so it's a very warm feeling, a lot of windows to bring in a lot of the natural light.
This tiny house doesn't have any plumbing and comes with only basic electricity, and you definitely won't find any TVs or video games here. But what this cabin does have is extra storage and space-saving furniture like this fold-up table, which are perfect for tiny living. This tiny island treehouse was designed so the family could maximize the time they spend outdoors.
There's rope swings, there's places to sit back and read. One of the great things about the balconies is you can step right up on the roof with just a simple rope and look out at the water. You leave the balcony and you walk right out onto that swing bridge that goes out to the deck. You cannot walk across that bridge without a smile on your face. And then you get out to the deck, jump on the zip line and just zip right down and have fun. It's the ultimate payoff.
Back at the build site, Zach's come up with a way for our BMX bike track to both blend in with the landscaping and also provide hours of outdoor entertainment for Brian and Caroline's boys. And it starts with a big dirt delivery. Zach's asked Brian to help out.
Today I'm at the build. Zach told me he had a special project going on and wanted me to come by and check it out. So what do you have planned here?
Well, I need your permission on something.
All right.
I want to build a bike course that totally circumferences your house.
Nice. So exactly what are you thinking?
I mean, the whole course will be dirt. And then a select number of turns I want to do out of wood, kind of like a boardwalk on an angle.
Sweet.
So what I have here, right, is basically some supports. We'll have planks that are going to go up on it like that. Now you have like a nice bank turn that it looks like you could ride a bike on.
I think they'll dig it.
Well, I'm glad you're on board. Let's get this going.
To be able to show Riv and Jack that, hey, Dad helped out with that, and I think that'll, be exciting.
So let's go walk around and see about where we're gonna put them.
And they are going to dig this.
It's day 6, and we've made a lot of progress on our tiny house. The metal siding has been oxidized with a solution of ammonia and salt water in order to deliver an exterior that's rustic modern. The crew is painting the barn doors for the master bedroom in old navy blue, and the hole for the kitchen sink is getting cut out. I'm meeting up with Zach at the build site because he's excited to show me the completed BMX bike course.
This is unbelievable!
Right?
Like, this is way more intense than I thought.
I was hoping that you'd say that.
This is legit.
There is potential I got a little carried away. However, I do think in terms of the goal of making this something that's gonna last,
Yeah.
it's gotta be fairly substantial.
Yeah.
And just so you know,
Yeah.
if you're thinking it's a little too extreme,
Yeah.
this area underneath the berm,
Yeah.
I plan on, packing that out. So that's a trail.
Okay.
So the kids will have the option to go on the flats underneath.
Good. I like that because then it's not too advanced for Jack right now.
So they're gonna start up at the top in the driveway.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to go either direction. And the idea is like you give it a couple pedals and then you just let yourself kind of go through the course. Starts out real slow, and by the time you're down here, you're really ripping around these corners. So.
By the way, I just want to point out, I see bike tires. You've been out riding this thing, haven't you?
No, I've been working the whole time. You're not gonna expect me to be able to build something like this and not test it out.
Speaking of testing it out, this thing looks like so much fun. I can't resist. Dude, I just love this thing. Just. And then hit the tabletop jump. Oh, God.
Yes!
Need more speed. I'll work on that.
It's day 7, and before we hand the keys to their tiny experiment over to the Setliffs, there are just a few finishing touches left. The landscapers are planting the annuals and shrubs, and naturally, Zach is testing the bike course one last time. Woo! Inside, the crew is installing the custom ladder for the boys' lofts, and the Essentia mattresses are being put into place. I'm helping to arrange the bathroom items while Zach is busy installing his dining table, which will double as an old-school toy storage cabinet. 1 week ago, we arrived in Raleigh, North Carolina to help the Setliff family build the tiny, rustic modern cabin of their dreams. Brian and Caroline wanted this tiny home to be a way for their boys to connect with nature, but convincing them that they could have fun while being unplugged was a challenge. I gave the family a taste of what living tiny and technology-free was going to be like. Zach worked on creating both indoor and outdoor fun, including his first ever zip line. And with Brian's help, he even built an awesome BMX-style bike track for the boys. We hope that once Brian, Caroline, and their boys see all the surprises we packed into their new home, they'll really embrace their decision to go tiny. Now, it's time to welcome the Setliff family to the tiny house community.
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Come on over.
This is amazing.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Oh my
it's
gosh, it's
beautiful.
so cool.
I love the rusted metal side. It has a beautiful slanted roof. It's really modern. It's like they just put this perfect house in the middle of the woods. It blends in.
I'm so glad you said that. With the rough sawn pine, all stained, I mean, it fits in the outdoors.
This is perfect.
Are you guys curious at all about what this wood
Yeah.
stuff is out here? You got any guesses?
So we like ride your bike on.
You think it's something that you ride your bikes on, but this isn't a bike track. This is the bike track.
We just need this place to be fun.
I mean, the thing goes all the way around the house.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It's made with wood and dirt, and there's a lot of curves that you can ride up on. And it just looks amazing. It's awesome.
Are you talking about the house or are you talking about the bike course?
All of it.
You boys want to get inside?
Yeah.
Have at it, guys. Check it out. We'll be in just a sec, okay?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna faint.
It's gorgeous.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. It's very, very cozy, and I love the floors. It's beautiful.
Caroline, check out your countertop.
So gorgeous.
It feels like a cabin. Just very, very comfortable.
And rustic inside.
Nice, perfect.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's just exactly my style.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
You know what I like about this right here? Is that he's not bored. That's kind of perfect. What do you guys think?
Feels like a cabin inside, and that's exactly what we were after.
I mean, I love it.
One of the things that you asked for, Brian, was maybe like a space that you could call your own. That's what the master bedroom was.
This might seem a little small to you guys, but this bedroom is enough to make most tiny house owners very jealous.
Yeah, I mean, especially this part where you have to jump to hit the ceiling and not be ducking the whole time.
Caroline can come in here, hang out, read. We can come in, you know, together, or I can just come in, but it's a space that we have. Works perfectly.
This is actually one of 2 private rooms. The other one is right next door. This is a big, tiny bathroom. This is not wood.
It's not?
No, that's ceramic tile.
Wow.
Kind of gives you this look of, you know, that rustic modern you're going for.
Absolutely. I love this vanity. Bathroom's a lot bigger than we expected. I feel like I could go hang out in there and have a glass of wine.
I want to talk to you guys about the boys' lofts. This is just the area really to sleep. Your guys' area to play is down here outside. At least that's what I thought. And then Zach said, well, we got to give them a little something to do up there too.
Everybody knows that when it's time to go to bed, people actually mean it's time to go play in your beds. And so let's go check it out.
Here, get on up there, Jack. That is your space. All right, well, let's take a look and see.
Mom, look.
Where are you gonna play ping pong?
Okay, River, so you just undo this latch up at the top, and then the whole thing comes down.
Ping pong.
Look at this.
So what do you think of that, Riv?
I have no words. In a good way.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's our room and the kids' room.
When they pulled down the ping pong table, I just saw it on their faces. They just went crazy.
You know, one of the things I told Zach that he had to do was make an entertainment center. And he's like, well, there's no electronics. What do you mean entertainment center? And this is what we came up with.
You have so many fun things to do outdoors, but not every single day can you do things outdoors. So this is about those moments. Basically what it is a cabinet. It's got all sorts of games.
Yeah, these are the games you guys picked out. If that's all it was, that's fine.
Shut this up here, lock it out. The whole unit pulls away from the wall.
Wow.
Undo this pin, and now tilt this whole thing back. Now you got a big table for gaming.
There you go, sir.
This can be your dining room table.
He caught us off guard. You know, we saw the entertainment center and then he started to wheel it out. It's just a great use of space in the place.
This is what a non-electronic entertainment center looks like.
And entertainment in this scenario kind of looks like the faces of your loved ones, right? Staring across the table from you.
But boys, this is for when you guys are stuck inside because it's raining or it's nighttime. But there is another way to entertain yourselves on the outside. And it's right behind this door. Oh. Check that out.
Oh my gosh.
There is another way to entertain yourselves on the outside. And it's right behind this door. Oh. Check that out.
Oh my gosh.
You know what this is?
A zip line.
That's exactly right.
No way.
It's not just a zip line, there's a tree house.
Really?
Yep.
I can see it?
Well, yeah, but there's only one way to get there. That's on the zip line.
Yeah, the best way.
Yeah, the best way, exactly.
I was not expecting it to be right from the house. That's so cool.
To be able to walk out here, jump up there, cruise down.
It's probably the coolest zip line that I've ever been on.
I'm ready. Here he comes. Oh, here he comes, look at him. Yeah! Yeah! It's coming in hot.
So what'd you think, boys?
Awesome, but I'm coming back to go again.
He's coming back.
Whether or not the boys are going to have fun, I have no concerns. Yeah, they're already just having a ball.
Our mission was to make a modern, rustic house in the country that would enable you to help get the boys unplugged and yet still be entertaining. I think we pulled it off.
I'm okay without electronics.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, score.
Score.
The only thing left to do now is officially welcome you guys to the tiny house community. There it is! Get over here! You're gonna be a family in a tiny house. Congratulations, you guys. It's been 3 weeks since Brian, Caroline, and the boys started their newest journey as members of the tiny house community. Have they been able to unplug and leave technology behind? We're headed back to Saxbahaw, North Carolina to find out.
Let's see you do that jump, bro.
Give me your best.
Living in the tiny house has been really different. It's really different.
All right, Jack. Nice. Good work, Jack.
It has been hard without electronics, but I love the bike track.
We've been really enjoying the outdoors more. Just being unplugged, not having the electronics has gone great. Kids are forced to be outside, and that aspect of it has been really what we wanted. The zip line is a lot of fun for them.
I just think it's like really cool, and I don't know what to say about it.
So, you know, we're loving the house, but it's a work in progress. We ended up getting a new couch that's bigger so we can all fit on it. And we are getting ready to make the porch screened in. We're gonna spend a lot of time out there. It pretty much adds a whole nother space to the house. It's gonna be great.
So I think the whole idea of a tiny house, I would actually encourage people to look into it and check it out. It's a great idea just to be able to downsize. And so far, we've enjoyed it.
I would definitely recommend getting a tiny house for somebody. We love it, and the kids love it.
I think John and Zach did a great job. Not a good job, a great job.
I'm John Weisbarth, and I travel across the country with my building partner, tiny house expert Zach Giffen. And together, we help people build their mini dream homes. On this episode of Tiny House Nation, Zach and I will prepare a couple for their new journey into tiny living while staying on course with a design they've created. You're going tiny to enjoy this stuff, but you have to be able to enjoy the space too.
We have most of it fitting, but we are a little nervous.
Can we build a tiny home that won't force them to leave their love of the wild behind? But do you really need all of this stuff?
Kind of.
Yeah, I know that doesn't fit.
Right.
And it's a tough thing to give up. What's the anxiety level?
If you could go above 10.
Tiny homes are the next big thing. This week we find ourselves in the Pacific Northwest where, shocker, it's raining. I'm on my way to Oregon City, Oregon to meet Luke and Tina. They're an adventurous young couple. Zach and I are here to help them with their next adventure, which obviously is going tiny.
We met in college. We had the same classes, just slightly different majors. And we just found that our love for the outdoors just really brought us together.
And it's their love of the outdoors that's really inspired them to go tiny.
Luke and I are both mountaineers. We do ice climbing and rock climbing and extreme backpacking. And the tiny house gives us big financial security so we can start using that money towards adventures and experiences instead.
We have a unique situation here. Tina and Luke are both engineers, so they've taken those skills and put them to use, creating their own tiny house design.
Luke and I designed everything ourselves. We had done everything from the framing, structural, wind loads, speed loads, and then when it came down to the aesthetics and the design, we really teamed up on that for sure.
Mountaineering is kind of a compilation sport, if you will, and so we have a fair amount of space requirements for the gear storage.
Do you want the 4-season or the 3-season tent?
I'll bring the 4-season.
All right.
Things hopefully it all fits, so I think that's our biggest fear, if you will.
20 minutes away, Zach has arrived at the build site and is excited to get down to business.
I am really very happy to be back in the Northwest. However, working in Oregon is definitely rolling the dice in terms of weather. But we got a place to build inside, so I'm on board. Game on.
Hi, how's it going? There they are. Oh, hi. Hi. Yeah, I got the big old beware of dogs out front. I wasn't sure they were gonna be, I didn't know what we were talking about. These are nice guys.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Just beware of how much you're gonna love them. Is that the,
Yes.
is that the question? By the way, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I went right to the
Nice
dogs.
to meet you,
yeah, it's good
Tina.
to see you guys. Here we are. Are you guys ready for this?
I hope so.
We got a big week ahead of us.
We do.
First thing is, what's this all about?
So we actually just got back from a trip.
Okay.
We're just kind of airing out some stuff.
Do you guys have to do that after every trip?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Want to know the secret of how to dry a full-size tent in a tiny house? Trick question, you don't. Are you guys out camping a lot?
Every weekend. Luke and I are huge mountaineers, and we're summiting anything around like 13, 14, 15,000 foot mountains.
What about these guys?
They come with us.
They go with you.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have their own gear. They have their own packs.
It sounds adorable, but it sounds like a lot more stuff.
Anything you can imagine we'd need, just make it dog size.
Oh, wow, even doggy gear. Why are we doing this?
We want to have financial freedom, and having a house we can pay off in a couple years,
Yeah.
we can start using that money for experiences rather than just material items.
We just want it to be a place to where we can go home after adventures. Basically, it's going to become our tiny base camp.
What's your situation with stuff?
This couch really needs to come with us.
Okay.
This is not only our seating area, it's also a spare bed, so when people come and visit, they have a comfortable place to sleep.
You guys, as engineers, have done most of the design on the house.
We have, yes.
So I can trust you guys that this fits?
About an inch on either side.
Okay.
Back at the site, Zach is talking over build details with our contractor, Jim, and double-checking the plans.
This whole built-in storage that they got is like right where I could see like kind of the living zone.
So looking at the plans, they have a big section of the house that's dedicated to something called storage. It's gonna be massive. So if we're gonna dedicate that much prime space, I'm going to need to find out from John what they need to store there.
It's definitely a pretty cool design.
They're giving it a loft and a great roof deck.
It seems like a pretty full house.
It's jam-packed.
Right, well, I got my tools in the truck, so.
Get this show on the road.
All right.
Dog crates?
That is their safety cave. These need to come with us for the house.
Okay, what do I need to account for you guys?
I actually have a big record collection, probably about 100 or so, that's going to be coming into the house.
What is it that you have?
I have scrapbooking stuff and crafting.
And there it is.
I have moved 43 times in my life.
Did you say you've moved 43 times?
You know, some of it was when I was younger, but mostly when I was in college, I worked 6 jobs, and each job required me to move every 3 months. And instead of bringing a lot of items with me, I take a little piece, and then I put it into a memory book for myself.
This is wonderful. All of this to make this happen? It seems like a lot of stuff.
It's obvious that these scrapbooks are Tina's way of coping with having moved 43 times, and we're definitely gonna have to pare down some of the supplies she has for this, but I'd rather she had the scrapbooks than a garage full of memories she's hanging on to.
Is this the first thing that you've designed for yourselves?
For ourselves, yes.
Is it different?
Oh, yeah. A lot more heart. A lot more heart goes into it.
You're a lot more emotionally attached to it.
What's the anxiety level?
If you could go above 10,
Is that where it is?
somewhere around there. And there's a lot of very specific aspects we put into the house. We had to make sure we had plenty of space for our gear. We had this big rooftop deck.
Okay.
The roof deck is something that we really wanted to incorporate into the house because we always envisioned the ability to sleep outside no matter where we were.
All right, come on. I want to see more.
Back at the build, Zach has already started framing up the home inside our contractor Jim's warehouse build site.
All right, Jim, coming up behind you.
Probably the most unique thing about this house is how the framing construction is done. So Jim's developed a technique where they build the entire house in 4-foot panel sections that people could stand by themselves. So it's a really good system for the do-it-yourselfer, and it's just fun to be a part of that whole process.
This is like a sporting goods store here. Ice picks.
Rope, we got your snowshoes.
Crampons, you name it.
You guys are very organized.
We are, yes.
But do you really need all of this stuff?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we do so many different climates, and every single piece of gear in here does a different thing.
Are you guys worried at all? Because this is a lot of gear.
We are a little nervous.
I think there's always going to be a worry. We have about, I think it's about 900 pounds worth of gear at this point.
So, I mean, what's important in here? I mean, it's a beautiful bed.
It is.
I hope you don't tell me that that's like your grandmother's.
I made it with my father when I was very little.
Oh, did you really? Of course she made it with her father, of course. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she planted the tree they made that out of with her grandfather. I mean, note to self, don't ask if the gigantic piece of furniture in the room has emotional value. It always does, always. Wow. I mean, did you guys carve this stuff or did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it probably led to me being an engineer.
And you've moved 43 times up until now.
Yeah, and this one has always come with me, always. Yeah. So we would love to see it in there.
I'm not gonna say yay or nay today, right this moment. You know, the next couple of days, weigh that against why you guys are going tiny.
No, that makes sense. I definitely have moved enough. I know what it's like to start getting rid of things, but I don't think I've owned one thing other than my bed set through the entire moving process, which makes it even more difficult to say goodbye to it.
What is this all about?
That's a Valentine's Day present from me to Tina. It's actually a little bit of an inspiration for the house. Taking all the different color woods and the layering of wood, and it's using all the different tones and grains.
Doing mountaineering in other countries, they have these beautiful alpine huts, and they're gonna be made by anything you can find near it. So we want our house to blend in with all of the surrounding around it.
Kind of like borrowed from nature.
Borrowed from nature.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Zach will love that idea.
Zach is amazing with woodworking, and I think for us, we are looking for things that are gonna take a lot of expertise, and I think he has it.
I would like to be able to take this with me if I could to show Zach.
That sounds good.
Sounds
yeah.
good.
See you guys.
Thank you so much.
Luke and Tina are moving out of a 1,000 square foot big house and are building a 204 square foot tiny home of their dreams. When the couple isn't trekking to the top of a mountain, this tiny base camp will keep them connected with nature, surrounding them with warm, natural wood finishes. Inside, the large living area will provide a comfortable place for the couple to rest and recuperate after a trek into the wild. Organized storage space for the gear will also be a major focus inside, and they've planned out a space for that, but Zach will have to come up with a specific design that stows their gear away efficiently until their next adventure. Since they spend so much time on the go, a small, full-featured kitchen should provide more than enough room to make meals, and a cozy bathroom with modern finishes will be ready whenever nature calls. When it's time for some shut-eye, the couple can head up the staircase that also features storage and a sleeping space for the two dogs to the bedroom loft. Or if the weather cooperates, they can go up to their rooftop deck and sleep out under the stars. Zach and I should be able to accomplish all of this, but with a budget of $35,000, it's gonna take some real creativity to keep this build from turning into an uphill battle. Back at the build, Zach and the crew have hit the ground running. They have the home sheathed and are applying insulating wrap.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
I'm meeting Zach there now to fill him in on what Luke and Tina will need and give him a little inspiration.
Hey, John.
How we doing?
Oh, just trying to get organized.
So I just got back from seeing the house. They've got like a big couch they want to bring in, dog kennels, record collection, crafting, and then literally an entire room that just has mountaineering camping gear in there.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, because when I look at the plans, I see this massive storage area.
Yeah.
But I'm a little worried that there's certain things that everybody wants, like a dining room table, that they don't have.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what I can do about that. When I look at the plans, I see this massive storage area.
Yeah.
But I'm a little worried that there's certain things that everybody wants, like a dining room table, that they don't have. But I'm not sure what I can do about that.
The other thing, though, that I want to talk about is the aesthetic of the place. So they gave me, check that out. Yeah, got a little something in my teeth, I think.
This is not impressing me.
Oh, does this impress you? Look at this. Right, so this is a gift that Luke gave to Tina. You know, they wanted to have this feel. I mean, all these different woods, right, working together.
There's a whole lot of different types of woods kind of coming together in a very artistic way.
Exactly. Like an alpine, not even a lodge, a base camp. Perfect. Those are kind of our marching orders for this.
All right, I love it. It's going to be exciting.
Cool.
It's day 2, and the crew has turned up the pace of the build. Windows and insulation have just gone in, and storage cubbies that will fit into the home staircase are being assembled. Now that the home is starting to take shape, I'm bringing Luke and Tina to get a first look at their new tiny base camp.
Here we go. There's that. Hey, Zach, come on over.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
So, I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
first impression.
It looks huge.
You know, I'm glad you guys say that too, because everybody says that. I'm glad the engineers say that as well.
Yeah.
Let's get into space, and I want to let you guys sort of explore it a little bit too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just the wooden material. I mean, we got the hardwood floor about to go in.
Oh, yeah.
Locally sourced bird's eye maple.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
The finishes, that's going to be a really big deal in this one.
We don't want to see paint, drywall, anything like that. We want to make it like it actually fits in the woods that we're
So
putting in.
natural finishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, in terms of the rest of the space, I mean, really, this is the living space. The couch actually comes just about to about here, and from here all the way over to the kitchen to this space is what was drawn in there as a very large storage area.
Right.
For us, really, storage is going to be key for this house.
I mean, a lot of it's mountaineering, climbing gear.
This is equipment for your passion, kind of.
Yeah.
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 And without these tools, you can't have those experiences. All right, that's all it takes for me to be sold. It's like I ski and I camp out in the winter. I know how much equipment, if you're going wintertime camping,
Yeah.
Right.
it requires.
Keep going. I'm recording this for. Go ahead. Keep saying. No, just for when you get mad at me when I couldn't get him to pare down. Go ahead. Again, lots of equipment.
Well, okay.
Oh, okay. No, I get it. If it's something you care about, like outdoor equipment, then yeah, no problem. We can do that. The more the merrier.
So, you have a point.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going hiking. Good luck.
With that mountaineering equipment, everything is very sensitive. We have down, and we need a place to dry it too when we come back. Because if we're out in the backcountry and our equipment doesn't work, we're putting our lives at risk.
I have a lot of sympathy towards the climate that you live in. You actually have to get very specific about drying things, especially in the wintertime.
Yes.
I think it will be a challenge and needs to be thought about.
Yes.
For sure, yeah.
Go on. I want you guys to come up and see upstairs.
Not just upstairs.
Well, the upstairs. This is where you guys are gonna sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? I mean, there's good windows for airflow. Really what I wanted you guys to see was this and
Yeah.
up here.
That's what really sells this whole place for
Yeah.
me.
Wow.
This is gonna, I mean,
Oh my
kind of
God.
nice, right? I mean, as far as the inspiration for this, I mean, what were the reasons for it?
I mean, Luke and I always want to sleep outside as much as possible.
Yeah.
So we want to sleep out here at least 3 seasons if we can.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow. In terms of access, we've usually used windows that you climb through, so that might not work for the dogs.
We're hoping for a door.
For some sort of a door or
We
something.
know it'll have to be custom, but that's going to be really important for us.
We don't have time to order a custom door, which we absolutely would have to. So, I mean, I'll have to think about it.
I know it's a really tight build schedule.
I would say we don't have to make that decision right this second. But so far, it seems like you guys have a good feel for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How it's going on so far? Now that we've heard what Luke and Tina think of the build so far, Zach is getting right back to work, starting with bringing their plans for a large storage unit to life.
The storage space that Luke and Tina designed for their tiny house, it really is just pretty open. So I'm gonna take that space and run with it. My plan is to include lots of different sizes of shelves and drawers, and that's basically to accommodate all different kinds of gear. I'm using nice birch plywood, and in order to make it beautiful, I'm gonna cover the edges of the plywood with banding. It's really just gonna be fine woodwork that's really functional, and I'm gonna focus on the function for this piece.
It's day 3 of the build, and the crew is getting the home ready to brave the elements, installing rolled strip roofing for added insulation. While inside, Zach is making progress on the main storage space for Luke and Tina's gear. And I'm headed there to check in and see how it's coming.
In my opinion, it's just all about like specifying where everything goes.
Okay.
And you'll notice I've labeled everything.
Yeah. I like this. What are you thinking about the roof deck?
I didn't want to have a random door in the bedroom leading to it, but they love the wood that we're putting on their house.
Yeah.
I think we just take it in that same direction and make a decorative custom door to access the roof deck.
Yeah.
I mean, the mirror that you gave me is like a perfect example of what I'm talking about because it reminds them of their passions and what they're all about. So, I
You
mean,
think about doing like an inlay or something for the door?
yeah, because it's all about the material, you know? It's the material, but it's also the image.
That is a really good way to make it special. Good thinking, buddy. So between you doing a cool inlay for a door and this,
The big storage, I mean, it's gonna be a beautiful house with all the wood. You know, my only thought in terms of doing the inlay, I'm gonna have to track down some kind of wood.
you keep working on that. I think this is great. I think the idea for inlay is awesome, okay?
Okay.
All right, man, see ya.
Bye.
While Zach gets back to work, the crew is busy installing the front door and laying down the home's beautiful, locally sourced bird's eye maple wood floors. While that happens, I'm headed to meet Luke and Tina to help them prepare for their trek into the wild world of tiny living.
Hey, John.
How's it going?
Great, how are you?
Well, I'm good. How are you guys?
Great.
Good.
Because you know what today is?
Yes.
Tear down.
Today's tear down.
Today's Tear Down Day. And I think we've got some advantages. This is your 44th move. You're used to staying kind of like nomadic. And you guys are campers. You know what it means to travel with everything you need just with you.
I know that we've really thought about paring down, but the act of actually doing it and physically seeing those items not come with us, I think that's going to be a little tough for us.
The process of paring down is the process of determining what's important.
Right.
And you guys have made a very conscious choice that it's mountaineering. That means we got a lot of work to do everywhere else. When we start with this, you guys have assured me that this is gonna fit in there.
Yes.
Right.
Okay? What's tough in here, I mean, your records and your crafting. So, are there any of these that you're willing to part with?
There are some.
And how about the scrapbooking? Is all of this necessary?
Some of it I can definitely pare down.
Okay, then let's do this. Give me 2 piles.
Sure.
Even if the donate pile is small, that's fine. Any little bit of paring down we can do is gonna help. How are we doing over here?
Good. Those are all empty.
That's awesome. Stuff we're gonna take, let's take it and put it into the living room. And just lay it out.
We went through a lot of the different plates and the bowls.
Yep.
So we have this one set we really want to keep, and that's it.
That was the best kitchen tear down ever. Here we are. This is more than just a bed.
Yeah. It's my first project with my dad, and it was the whole reason I became an engineer.
There's no great answer to this one.
Right.
I know that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to give up that you've brought with you in the 43 previous moves.
Right.
But giving it up now is really what's gonna allow you to make this final move. And to afford a place that's big enough for this means you don't get to mountaineer as much as you want to.
You're right. It's going to hold us back, even though it is tying me back to my family roots. If I kept on holding on to it, I would never get the tiny house. I know there are going to be so much more surprises that we're going to look forward to that I would have never seen if I had decided to keep it.
Back at the build, the crew was installing metal weatherproofing panels on the roof and extending the natural wood theme to the home's exterior, installing wood siding and adding some metal accent pieces around the front door.
Alrighty, here we are, guys, here we are. I know that you're going tiny to enjoy this stuff, but you have to be able to enjoy the space too. For the first time ever, Zach's just like, no, it's no problem. I understand, they need all this stuff. So he is working to bring you a lot of storage for it. You guys have an entire room right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about a wall. So all that stuff we piled in the living room, plus all of this equipment, it's not gonna fit. So we gotta start making some decisions. Why don't we make a little pile in the middle of this room?
Sure.
Of what's not coming.
The backpack right behind you.
I have my other one that's not coming with us.
Okay, where's the doggy backpacks?
Yeah.
I was right. It's adorable.
We definitely don't need
All of those.
all 40 stuff sacks.
Definitely a few extra jackets.
There's a lot of different pair of boots.
We could give up one tent. I don't think we need 3.
This is a lot more than I thought. Well done. You've done a really nice job. I'm super curious about the drying aspect. How big of a deal is this?
Yeah, honestly, if we don't dry it down, the next time we go to use it, it might have mold. It's not gonna work the way we really need it, so it's gonna be very important we can dry it.
That requires basically covered, heated space, or?
Yeah, either indoor space or when it's nice outside, dry outside space.
I'm gonna go back to Zach and see if we can figure out this drying out stuff.
All right, thank
Thanks
you
a lot,
so
John.
much.
Good job, you guys.
Thanks.
It's day 4 of the build, and this tiny adventure home is really starting to take shape. So Zach and I are on a mission to a local lumber yard that specializes in urban salvage to find the perfect material for the door and kitchen counter.
Yeah, this is it for sure.
Oh yeah, here we go.
John, I think we came to the right place. Wow. Hey, doggy.
How's it going?
Good.
Hey, very nice to meet you. I'm Zach.
Zach, nice to meet you.
How's it going? I'm John.
John, nice to meet you. That's Tucker.
Tucker. Oh, hi, Tucker.
I'm trying to build a door.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a slab. And then we need some countertop material. What is this?
This is black walnut.
So pretty.
Yeah, it's got a lot of figure, and actually right here you can see this is the crotch.
Sorry, it sounded like you said this was the crotch. Don't be a 12-year-old. Don't be a 12-year-old. Don't be a 12-year-old.
It is. This is where there was 2 branches that went off.
Huh. Learn something new every day. Where does this stuff come from? Is it just all around here? I mean, locally?
Or most of it is urban salvage.
I don't know if I know exactly what the urban salvage is.
Urban salvage usually is trees that are either getting too big. A lot of times they're in somebody's backyard, front yard. You know, they've got huge branches coming down on houses. Homeowner will call us, say, hey, I've got a tree I need to come down.
Gotcha.
I think first things first, I'd like to look for the door.
Okay.
And you said you had some maple.
Yeah, actually, right behind you, we got some decent-sized slabs. Okay.
Right, I like it.
And then for the counter, I was thinking redwood.
Look at the color in the back of that.
This is beautiful. This is a nice straight board, got a nice live edge. I think one slab would do me.
Okay.
With a little inspiration, reclaimed and salvaged wood can add warmth and functionality to any tiny space. Who said you couldn't ride your skateboard inside? Some sanding and staining transform these old boards into a great place to take a seat. On purpose. These small branch sections won't have to wind up as kindling. With a hollowed out space in the middle, they can find new life as planters for your desk. For those gadget lovers, this live edge wood slab can become the perfect tablet holder with one well-placed groove, proving the simplest solution is often the best.
Done. Done. That's what I'm talking about.
It's day 5 of the build, and while the crew is cutting and placing the stone gray bathroom tiles, Zach is prepping and sanding down his custom upstairs door and building its matching door frame. For more inspiration on living tiny in the great outdoors without roughing it, we're headed to Portland, Oregon. With only 96 square feet of living space, this tiny wood lover's dream home may be the same size as a deluxe camping tent, but in this case, great things come in small packages. The home's gorgeous wood exterior is highlighted with warm, natural tones, while planters built into the upper edges ensure that no matter where you wind up, you'll be surrounded by the great outdoors. Inside, the deluxe cabin theme continues with multicolored natural wood paneling and plenty of sunlight. Living tiny requires one thing above all: organization, but this woodsy home has it covered. Built-in wooden storage components along the walls ensure that everything you need for your next expedition is ready at a moment's notice, and a cozy but well-designed bathroom and shower will be a welcome spot to clean up when the homeowners return. All of this fits into a tiny package that's easily transported, even for homeowners like Luke and Tina, who have chosen the road less traveled. Back at the build, Zach has started to sketch out the decorative inlay design he'll carve into a custom door that Luke and Tina will use when they access their roof deck.
What's up, bud?
Hey, what's happening, John?
Dude, what you working on?
This is the funnest thing I ever get to do. I'm just, this is drawing up a mountain.
This is our piece of wood?
Yeah, this is that slab of maple we took. To top it off, what I want to do is actually have a wooden door latch.
Oh, that's super cool. You know what I'm honestly a little bit more concerned with is the whole drying out issue. I know it's on your radar. Tell me you've got an idea.
Okay, so my thought process on the drying is, one, you need exterior drying rack. You have your tents, you got all these large items, but then there's also items that you can't expect to dry outside. So I'm thinking of like a rack that actually lowers. You can toss all your gear on it, and then you hoist everything up to the hottest part of the house. And then the best part is that when the drying rack is not in use, it comes down, folds upside down, and then the legs come out, and now it's a coffee table.
I know that Luke and Tina are primarily concerned with where they're gonna dry and store all their gear, but it's really been eating at me that we haven't come up with a good solution for, you know, where they're gonna eat.
Oh, so we give them a table and a drying rack.
Yeah.
I'm sold. And this looks good, though. All right, man.
The build is right on schedule, and our home is almost ready to go into the wild. Inside, gorgeous raw wood ceiling and wall panels are being installed, and Zach has asked Luke and Tina for their help with the special custom project he's working on.
Hey, Zach.
I actually wanted you guys to stop by because I have an idea for your drying situation. Like you guys are thinking outdoor. Yes. I think you need a combination of both indoor and outdoor. Okay. So we set up on the outside of your house. I'm essentially building right now 2 ladders that are hinged at the bottom. And then when you're ready to dry something, you release the latch. Now they fall down. Now you got rungs that you can hang all your like gloves, and then you can also attach from both ladder to ladder.
No, that sounds great, actually.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. That would be perfect.
You guys want to help?
What do you need us to do?
Well, I can keep ripping on the table saw, and you guys can actually assemble these things. So one of you guys place, and one of you guys put screws in. Pretty easy to go too far.
It is.
So you go real fast, and then when you get real close, just start slowing down a bit.
I mean, we helped design it, but to actually put a hammer and nail and drill and everything else to the house, that's going to mean more to us in the end.
Yeah.
So it'll be straight vertical up flush against the back of your house.
Sure.
And then you pull a latch. Now it's gonna fall down, and a chain just stops it.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that was good. You guys got enough time to build another one?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
All right, let's do it.
While Luke and Tina work on the second outdoor drying rack, Zach can turn his focus to the multifunctional indoor drying rack that will double as a table. So I'm checking in with him now to see how things are coming.
How we doing, man?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's coming along in here.
What do you think?
Wow, this is cool. Seeing it in the space here, it's huge. I mean, the good news is there's a lot of storage. What's, I think I know what this is.
This is the coffee table drying rack. It flips upside down. Pop legs down, and then this whole thing attaches to ropes.
Okay.
And just lifts up into space. And then there'll be hooks, so you'll be able to hang jackets, put gloves up top.
Gotcha. I mean, how are we doing with everything else?
The nice thing is that we have all the materials.
Okay.
My only issue so far here, I just don't feel like we're nailing the theme of a lot of wood. It's day 6 of the build, and while the crew is staining the custom gear storage unit, Zach is carving out the inlay design for the custom door he's building for Luke and Tina.
What do we got here?
What do you think about that, Don?
Wow, this is really cool. This is the mountain, the clouds.
And I got a lake that's gonna go in here. And
you can definitely see it.
Wait, no. Just hold on a second. Let me show you. So now that's what you're gonna see.
Whoa. Is that what it's gonna look like when it's oiled?
Yeah. Now you see why we went through all that trouble getting like a really nice slab of maple. This is gonna make all the difference.
I'm noticing how much this pops, and I'm looking at like your nice little like green tools here. I'm thinking, did you buy those for me to match the jacket?
Oh, no, I needed some things. Home Depot is like 2 miles away.
Okay. I mean, there's no doubt that this is exactly what they need in this house. All right, I just want to check on that.
All right, perfect.
All right, man.
Zach's custom inlay door is gonna be incredible. As he finishes sanding it down and staining it to bring out the richness of the wood, I'm getting the house prepped for its big move to the couple's land in Estacada, about an hour away.
So you got a ton of room coming this way. Nice and slow. Wow. Jimmy, that was as close as I've seen it. That might be good. I like it.
It's day 7 of the build, and we've got some final touches to get done before we hand over the keys to our new homeowners. Zach is installing the outdoor drying racks, the indoor multifunctional drying rack table, and I'm helping to get some small odds and ends into place. 7 days ago, we journeyed to Oregon City, Oregon to help Tina and Luke build the tiny adventure home of their dreams. These two are explorers who spend a lot of time in nature, so we worked some tiny home magic to combine functional gear storage with the comfort and warmth they'll appreciate after roughing it. The couple were methodical about paring down, but they still worried about fitting their adventure gear into the tiny home. So Zach created an incredible storage system to keep their items organized and ready to go. And after a rainy trip, they can dry out their gear inside and outside with Zach's custom drying racks. All of this will ensure they never feel separated from the great outdoors, even when they're relaxing at home. All that's left is to hand over the keys so this amazing couple can set up camp in the tiny home community.
We're gonna turn this corner, and you're gonna see your house.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
What's our rose?
There's your house, huh?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Look at this. Hey.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, it looks perfect.
That's exactly what we've been imagining for the last 18 months. I mean, it matches everything around it. You have these beautiful fir trees right behind it.
It looks perfect.
Oh my God.
Those were our marching orders.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you notice the rooftop deck,
For sure.
right? It definitely breaks up the whole shape to me. And there's something else over here that also breaks up the shape of the house.
And one of the big things that we knew going into this was that you had a lot of gear, and that a lot of that gear needed to be dried.
You guys remember the ladders that we built?
Yeah.
And all I did was I just put them on hinges. It's got a latch.
Oh, that's
open
perfect.
it up, and now the chain we talked about.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is absolutely perfect.
All the different rungs you can hang different stuff on. And then for the big items, I imagine they go kind of ladder to ladder. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to see your new home?
Yes.
Check it out. Get in there, look at it, and then we'll come in and show off some of our favorite pieces, okay?
All right. You ready, Mama?
You ready?
You got it. Oh, that's a good girl. You're home.
God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Redwood.
Wow.
They actually fit the couch in here.
Oh my God. Look at the inlays and everything.
They already have all of the gear in here too.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Look, your record player, my scrapbooking items.
Oh my God, Tina, look at the countertops.
Do you see the live edge?
Wow, this countertop, I just can't get over it.
There's so much wood in here.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Everything blends together.
It looks beautiful.
There's not a speck of paint anywhere. Got all the storage that we're gonna need here.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, what's this? What's this? Home! We're home!
Do you want to go into the bathroom, check it out?
Yeah, let's go do it. Oh my gosh.
This actually is not that small.
Look at the tile, sweetheart. It's exactly the one that we wanted.
This is everything. There's a low-profile sink. This isn't taking any space.
Perfect.
There you guys are.
Hey.
So, what do you guys think? I mean,
it's got a lot of color, just being wood.
Yeah.
The redwood on the walls, the bird's eye maple floor, mahogany, as well as oak for the built-in.
This is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted.
This is everything that we always wanted. This is perfect.
What do you guys think about the storage?
It's
What do you
huge.
think? It is huge, right?
It's huge.
It was important that this be really beautiful to look at because it's so much just kind of a key piece of the house.
We can see there's a lot of room for gear, and some of it can be long-term storage, some of it short-term and open.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's amazing.
Do you feel like maybe you pared down too much now?
Yeah, now I'm wondering if we just can go buy a few more extra things now.
No, you can't. Well, let's keep moving on. I want to show you guys in the kitchen as well, because we've really carried the theme through in here. This is beautiful redwood slabs, live edge.
Wow.
Well, and the really fun thing about it is that it's all actually urban salvage.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, these are really big redwood logs, but you don't have to worry that you've decimated any spotted owl habitat or anything.
I mean, so does it feel like it's enough for you guys?
Absolutely. I definitely feel pretty comfortable in here.
What about the dog kennels?
It's great because you don't see them.
Yeah. You want to go upstairs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get upstairs. We want to brag a little bit about what's up here.
Oh my God. Luke, look at the door. Oh.
We want to brag a little bit about what's up here.
Oh my God. Luke, look at the door. Oh, it looks just like the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
This is a lot of space.
This is a lot of space. Oh,
Hi. Well, we know that they can make it up here, no problem. We were thinking it would be a little bit more crammed, but this is so roomy. If you can actually sit on the bed, and you have plenty of headspace.
Yeah.
You can actually, are you on your knees right now?
Yeah, I'm actually totally fine.
That's really good.
And there's really only one thing missing from this room, the bed set, right? I mean, that was not lost on Zach or I. We really felt like we had to do something special. And I think you can see behind Zach what I'm talking about. And this, it's not just a door. I mean, it's a piece of art.
It is incredible.
It's maple that actually came from the same salvaged maple lumber yard. So this is some of the redwood, and this is actually some of the flooring, poplar for the trees. And
it's amazing.
I mean, it's always gonna be the first thing you look at when we're up here. With my bed set, there was so much detail into it, and to see that kind of love put into another piece, that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
One of the funnest parts for me was definitely coming up with the wooden latch mechanism. So it's basically just an oversized knob. You pull it, push, door opens.
Oh, good girl. Oh my God.
Minnie, what do you think? It's awesome.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
oh my God.
This is amazing.
That rooftop deck, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. It opens up the space. It's gonna be a great place for us in the future. Sleeping at night, having the dogs up there, just a lot of memories to come.
Yeah.
All right, you have your second loft for extra space, for storage, and for guests. And so this is something that really can be whatever you guys envision it to be. But one of the other things, it was the drying, and it wasn't just outdoor drying, it was indoor drying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and how do we do that?
Yeah.
And I mean, the answer is right there, right? This is a drying rack that Zach came up with.
It takes your gear all the way up to the warmest part of your house. And you got little hooks on the bottom that you can hang your jackets and pants, and then everything else kind of goes on top, and it's aerated and will dry out that way. It's just on pulleys with the rope here. The whole thing comes down.
Wow.
You can easily access any of the items, and then just hoist it up, and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh.
And if it was just that functionality, it'd be super cool and definitely something to talk about. But come on, this is Zach Giffen. It's got more than just that.
There was a real lack in this house that I saw of an eating space.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you were really taking into consideration what was going to happen come dinner time. And so I figured I'd go and take it into consideration for you. And that's what this is about. So the drying rack, if you let it all the way down, it's just got carabiners.
Oh, wow.
Are you guys familiar with carabiners?
Pop off.
We got a few.
Okay.
The pieces hoist all the way out. And now, if you turn it upside down, the legs fall down.
Oh, wow.
We can all sit around it.
That's perfect.
And have a nice little evening and have a place to put our plates.
This is great.
This is mahogany. I don't normally always get to use wood like this.
Yeah.
So it's just a big treat. And to be able to turn it into something functional and beautiful, that's the fulfillment that I'm looking for.
We just love this space so much.
It feels like you guys, correct?
It does.
Yes. This is exactly what we're hoping. It has warm tones. We can have guests over. There's plenty of space for the dogs. This is exactly what we were hoping for when we pulled up.
When we came here this week, there was a lot you guys asked for. I mean, there was this aesthetic, this borrowed from nature. You had these huge items with the couch and the dog kennel, and had this huge need for storage. This is your 44th move. Is this the last one? Have we finally found home?
It's finally the last one. Finally. To know that no matter what, if I still want to uproot, I'm not going to have to find a new place. The same home I fell in love with is still going to be the place I call home at night. That's pretty special for us.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's a direct reflection of who we are and who we really want to be, even more and more.
Well, then, I guess at this point, the only thing left to do is to make it official.
Yeah.
And officially welcome you guys to the tiny house community.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Get over here. Come on.
Thank you so much.
You guys, congratulations.
Big, wide world out there for you.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy this place, okay?
Oh, we
I know
will.
you will. I know you will. It's been 2 months since Luke and Tina decided to set up camp in the tiny house community. How has their adventurous lifestyle and love of the outdoors fit into a home with only 204 square feet? We're headed to Oregon to find out.
There you go, let's go.
So the best thing about living in a tiny house so far, we've been able to park it on a 40-acre farm at night, and you literally see every single star. That's been really special. There's definitely at least a couple things that we love more than I thought that we would. I thought our bathroom was going to be a lot smaller feeling.
It's been super comfortable for everything we have to do in there.
Luke and I have added railings. We've added a lot of storage right above our countertop in the kitchen, as well as a headboard in the back of our bed for clothing storage, shoe storage underneath the hollow space in the stairs when you first walk in. We love the drying rack that Zach had built us because it turned into a table. For everyday usage, we actually created a pull-out table that comes right out of the gear storage. We've already sealed the outside of the house with this beautiful clear coat for cedar. We've been able to seal that live edge redwood slab so that it really brings out the grain.
Every day we take a look at the walls and we're still just mesmerized by all of the natural beauty that's in our house. We've had such an awesome amount of storage in the house. We've been able to really fit everything that we need, and we have not felt cramped once.
Luke and I have added this 1,100-gallon water catchment system from Oregon Rain Harvesting, which will collect rainwater that we'll use in our tiny home. I do miss my bed set. It's a personal thing that I'm always going to miss, but it is with someone else that I care about right now. We ended up being able to give away to a family friend, so that's been a little bit easier for me letting that go. Everything else we've learned to really live without. Our favorite thing about spending time in the tiny home has really been the closeness I've felt with Luke and with the dogs. If I could speak for a dog, I think they love it as much as we do. The kennels are perfectly placed so they're not in the way. They have their own space away from us and away from each other. This tiny house has really put Luke and I in a position to do anything we want with our lives.
It really gives us the flexibility to really live the way that we want to live.
And I can see us living this way for the rest of our lives.
I'm John Weisbarth, and I'm a huge fan of the tiny house movement that's exploding across the nation. The average American home is 2,300 square feet, but lots of people are deciding that bigger isn't necessarily better, and they're choosing to live in homes that are just 1/10 the average size. Whether they're after financial independence or desire to live with less, inspired homeowners are starting to think outside the blueprints of everyday building, and that's where I come in. I travel across the country with my partner, tiny house expert Zach Giffen, and together we help people build their mini dream homes.
I'm looking around this, and that's really small.
And get them prepared for the extreme downsizing it takes to live in under 500 square feet.
Oh, wow. What? Are you kidding me?
Trust me, tiny homes are the next big thing. We're in Ogden, Utah, a little bit north of Salt Lake City, surrounded by snow-capped mountains in just about every direction. I'm on my way to meet Michelle and her 7-year-old son, Vance. Michelle's a single mom who spent 4 years in the Navy.
I served on the USS McKee. I was a machinist. I actually got to repair submarines, and so it was pretty cool. I have a lot of great memories from the Navy.
Afterwards, she joined the corporate world and had her son, Vance. Michelle's main motivation for going tiny is financial freedom.
I was working about 50, 60 hours a week, and I was always very stressed. I wasn't being the best mom I could be. And so for me, I decided that I needed to make a big change for both of us because Vance is the #1 priority in everything.
Michelle really likes the aesthetic of steampunk. Steampunk is a retro-futuristic style which incorporates technology and aesthetic designs inspired by the 19th century. An imaginative combination of materials such as exposed iron, polished brass, wood, and leather help create this fantasy-based look.
So the design that I really like is kind of a Victorian meets steampunk blend. So we have the feminine side as well as the masculine side, and the whole thing just looks really cool.
It's the first time we're ever gonna build a steampunk tiny house.
Zach's gonna love this.
Zach and I build a lot of tiny houses on trailers, and they're all mobile, but some of them more than others. And this one has to be super mobile because Michelle is taking Vance on a whirlwind 6-month tour of the country, and she's doing it in the tiny house.
We're gonna go down the Grand Canyon. We're gonna hit some national parks around the US. We're just really excited about the freedom it provides, so I can do a lot less work and not worry as much about the income side of it, and instead go live.
Zach's at the build site right now, which is about a 30-minute drive from Michelle's apartment. Our builder, Stu, has a great setup. It's actually indoors, which means rain, snow, cold, not a factor, and that's gotta make Zach happy.
Bathroom's over here.
Right there.
And the shower here.
Right.
The vanity in the center.
Correct.
And then toilet in here.
Right.
And then galley-style kitchen, the 2 lofts.
Yep.
And this is living area.
Correct.
So what exactly are you gonna do for framing?
We like to use structural insulated panels. So it's foil wrapped.
Yeah.
On both sides.
And then they just got full-length studs going through the foam.
It's awesome.
These specific SIPS panels are really cool because the studs are actually pressed inside the foam. And so you can cap them with the top and bottom plate, you can cut them, modify them, put windows in, anything you want. All we gotta do is zip these panels together and get the walls up. 31 miles from the build site, Michelle and her young son Vance are living in an apartment complex. Michelle's lease is up in just 7 days, so we don't have much time to make their tiny house move-in ready.
Hey, Don, come on
Hey,
in.
how's it going?
Excellent, how are you?
Good.
Good.
You must be Vance. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good. Nice. Well, here we are, huh?
Yeah, this is it.
How big is this place?
850 square feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So it's not giant.
No, we actually came from 2,400 square feet to this. So we've already downsized quite a bit.
You've done a
But
paring down.
A little bit.
How was the paring down for you? Was that tough?
Yeah.
Really? What'd you have to get rid of?
My toys.
Ugh, that's the worst. Or you still have some left, or?
I have a lot left.
Does he?
He does.
I'm gonna come find you, though. All right, well, let's look around the rest of this place. The couches aren't coming, right?
No.
What about like TV?
So it's the TV, I've got my Blu-ray player, and I've got a gaming system that I want to have in there as well. So
Okay.
we have a lot of fun with those.
I don't see any tables.
No, we don't really generally use tables.
What do you eat on? What do you do your work on?
We have floor picnics a lot.
Just right here, just
Yeah,
sit
we'll like
down.
lay a little blanket down and sit down and have a little picnic, and it's a blast.
So what I'm hearing is apparently Michelle doesn't do tables. I mean, they use the floor for everything, to eat, to work, to play. At least they've got the multifunctional down.
All right, what do we got here?
This is my room.
All right, I see a lot of stuff. Is there any must-have type items?
My Navy hat from my Navy days, that's gotta come. This picture right here is actually just a picture of a card that my son had made for me. And this is the first little I love you note that he had ever made for me.
All right, I do notice a big closet here.
Yeah, I have a thing for clothes.
God, a lot of shoes, too.
Yes, there's a few shoes.
So this is kind of a lot of girly stuff here.
It is. I'm pretty girly that way.
Michelle has a lot of girly girl stuff. I mean, makeup, lotions, more brushes than I know what to do with, and a ton of clothes and shoes.
This is the worst of it, I think.
Back at the build site, Zach and the crew have finished framing the exterior and the roof and are now working on the interior.
So we're pretty good on our electrical then?
Yeah, we're gonna be close to where we can start button this thing up. We're gonna come in and backfill where you can see down in these channels where we route that out.
I thought you were just gonna run a circular saw across the studs.
Yeah.
But I like it. You just actually drilled it out. So it's not a whole lot different.
Well, it's
than
gonna
normal.
save the structural integrity too.
Kitchen.
The kitchen.
Here we are.
Yep, this is it.
I don't see a dishwasher.
No, there is no dishwasher. Well, there is right here.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we've been without one for a while, and that's not a concern.
Anything else I need to know?
So I have 4 drawers, and they're all full of things.
Michelle's kitchen was interesting. It's filled with stuff that she doesn't use. I look in that and I see a lot of redundancy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see an easy way to pare down. Can I come in?
Yes.
So this is your place. So Vance has dolls, a lot of dolls. I just don't know where they're gonna fit. Well, you know that you're gonna be moving into a smaller place, right?
Yes.
What kind of things do you want in there? Because you got a lot of stuff in here now.
Everything.
You want everything. I get that.
I want to take the whole entire apartment.
We don't have room for everything.
Paring down for kids is tough. They don't totally understand it. If you ask a kid which one of his toys he doesn't want anymore, he's gonna say, I want them all. So I'm gonna ease him into this.
Dolls are a pretty big part of what you like to do in here, right?
Yeah.
And what do you like about these dolls?
The hair and the clothes.
I mean, you'd want those to come over to the tiny house.
Yes.
Let me ask you about this castle. Can you stand next to this thing? I want to see how tall it is. Whoa, that might not fit in your room. If you were to take all of this stuff and put it in your room in the tiny house, you'd have no place for your bed.
And I'd sleep on the couch.
I have a feeling the pair down with Vance is not going to be easy.
So I've got one other thing I want to show you real quick. This right here.
What is this?
So this is kind of my idea of steampunk. Kind of ties into my Navy days. If we could find a way to incorporate that into the house, it would be so cool.
Give me a little bit more on the aesthetic.
For me, it's kind of a Victorian era, industrial, early industrial, like 19th century kind of stuff. The whole steampunk design for me is a lot of really cool, fun metals and gears, and it's got a romantic feel to it that is really alluring for me.
Michelle and her son Vance are going from an 850 square foot rental apartment to a 340 square foot steampunk tiny house of their dreams. On the main level, there'll be a galley-style kitchen with a washer-dryer unit. In the bathroom, Michelle wants a bathtub and a composting toilet. And in the living room, since she has a TV, DVD player, and gaming system, her entertainment center will need to be custom. The top level will house 2 bedroom lofts. On Michelle's side, there'll be storage for her girly girl items and a privacy wall. In Vance's loft, we'll have a designated area for his prized dolls and toys. And we need to do it all in just 7 days and on a budget of $45,000. So Michelle has a very specific design in mind. She wants modern style steampunk with a nautical twist, and I want to make sure that we can deliver on our promise, so I'm headed to Vallejo, California to get inspiration from the Never Was Hall, a nautically themed steampunk tiny house.
The Never Was Hall is a 3-story Victorian house on wheels. that is self-propelled.
Set designer Shannon O'Hare designed this 288 square foot steampunk tiny house to look like a Victorian riverboat, and he built it from scratch.
We got a fifth wheel travel trailer that had been stripped down to the bare frames, and we started from there. We actually built it in 6 months and took it to Burning Man in 2006. What makes this an archetype of steampunk is that we have got all this ironwork, some real, some not. You got the iron wheel that you would have like on a submarine or on a ship. This is all wood, painted to look like iron, and we actually textured the wood and then added the brass rivets.
Inside, the main spaces of the house are a command deck and a Victorian-styled living room.
Welcome aboard the Never Was Hall.
This tiny house has a front-wheel drive system that is hydraulically run and navigated with a 100-year-old ship's wheel.
It fits perfectly within the whole steampunk genre. This is a real bronze porthole from a ship. This piece is so incredibly steampunk beautiful, and it is actually from a steamship.
Other iconic steampunk design elements are these nautical gauges, which are both decorative and functional.
Originally, all our gauges did nothing. Slowly, one by one, they've been replaced with actual temperature gauges. This is functional as a barometer. This is the angle of the pitch of the hull. It's actually fun to make the gauges do something.
The living room is Victorian themed with steampunk accents.
So this is where we actually entertain everybody. There's a bar. We've had actual dinners, live music playing in here. One of the best elements of the hall is the secret staircase. It opens out, and then we have a way for people to exit.
The Never Was Hall is a great example of nautically inspired steampunk, and a modern version of this style is right up Michelle's alley. So I'm headed over to the build site to fill Zach in on what Michelle wants.
What's up, Zach? You ever seen one of these before? Old fancy pants Zach thinks he knows everything about construction. Let's see if he's ever heard of a splitzler valve.
No.
Really? You've not heard of a splitzler valve?
It looks like something that I would see in a radiant floor system.
Well, I'm just making this up. This is nothing.
So this is not a specific thing with a specific name?
No, but I think it should be called a splitzler. Really, this is steampunk. Are you familiar at all with steampunk?
I'm not quite sure what that is.
Are you familiar at all with steampunk?
I'm not quite sure exactly what that is.
It's sort of retro futuristic inventions. That's kind of the aesthetic that I want you to think about. But look, that's only part of it, okay? I learned a lot of stuff. So she has a huge TV and a gaming system, so she needs a custom entertainment center. She also wants a bathtub, washer and dryer, but doesn't want a table.
If she doesn't want a table, I don't have to give her one. I mean, actually, it would make my job a lot easier. Yeah.
So that's what I got for you.
Okay.
Got it?
I got it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I got it.
It's day 2 of the build, and while the crew is finishing sheathing the house, Zach is getting started on Michelle's entertainment center. It'll be his first try at styling something steampunk.
Found some steel out back. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Industrial. We got a lot of exposed bolts. There'll be a television up here.
I like the exposed metal, I like the rust. That's the right sort of aesthetic we're talking about.
Yep.
I don't know if this is steampunk enough. I think we need to do a little bit more to get the aesthetic right.
John has very high expectations for what he wants out of the steampunk look. This is a very specific style, and the whole process is just not something that I was quite prepared for.
That's not even why I came over here, though. Let's go in the house for a sec, because I want to talk to you about Vance's loft. This is Vance's place up here, right?
Yeah, that's Vance's loft.
He has a lot of dolls, and he has a huge doll house that's obviously not gonna fit in here. But for a 7-year-old, like, this can't be all about, oh, you're getting all this stuff you love taken away and moving into a small place, right? We've gotta make it work for him.
Yeah.
So I need you to build him a doll house that's gonna fit in the tiny house, and preferably a steampunk one.
So
I go back and
my build isn't steampunk enough for you, and now I have to build a steampunk dollhouse.
While Zach's wrapping his head around all things steampunk, I'm headed back to Michelle's apartment to help her and her son Vance pare down.
You know what today is?
Yeah.
Pare down day!
All right, let's do it.
Come on.
Let's do it. All right.
You've already pared down quite a bit once, but you do have some trouble areas. Now, this room is not one of the trouble areas, really, because...
No, it's not too bad.
I mean, big couch, they're not coming.
Yep.
We should talk about the TV. It's big.
But I have to have a TV.
Would you consider smaller?
I can do
Okay.
that. I can see that, yeah.
All right, this is one of the trouble areas. You're not gonna do this on your own.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Vance is here, right?
He's actually in his room playing with one of his friends right now.
Okay. Hey, Vance! Sit down here. Let me explain what we're gonna be doing. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Okay, very nice to meet you. Here's the thing. We can't take all those clothes to the tiny house. There's just not enough room. So I'm thinking we a little fashion show. She
Oh.
comes out, tries something on. If we like it, it can stay. If not, outfit number 1. You want to raid this in the top or on the bottom?
Top.
Okay, that's fair. What about this?
I love it.
You love it?
Done. Vance, you in?
Top? Oh.
I'm keeping this.
Yes!
Top. Love it.
Really?
Top.
This might be backfiring on me. Look at all that stuff we got to get through.
That is not too much.
Here's the deal. We keep all that stuff. You don't get to keep any of your dolls.
Wait, what?
Because there's no room for it. Now we'll start to get somewhere. What do we got? Remember the dolls. Okay, now we're getting it, guys.
What do you think?
No.
All right, I think you understand what we're going for. I gotta say, I'm
Really proud of you. In fact, there's so much stuff.
Oh my God.
I know, listen, I liked it. I like the big pile here that's not coming. I like the small pile here that is coming. Good job, you guys. Boom.
And then in terms of the bathtub, I tell you, I mean, that's 4.5 feet. That's a pretty small tub.
It's not necessarily deep either.
A standard 5-foot bathtub just won't fit into most tiny house bathrooms. But I've got another idea. If there is a way to do another tub that maybe has a little more volume and has a steampunk feel, something like a horse trough.
I'm open to ideas.
Okay.
All righty.
It's time, huh?
Yep. Well, listen, we were doing fine. We're making progress.
Yep.
Let's just keep the flow going. Let's figure out what's
All right.
going in the box as a keeper.
All right.
I've seen restaurants with less cookware. I see so much redundancy. So let's just start.
I'll get all the spatulas. Let's start it.
Okay. Yeah. Take this stuff.
Yes to this.
Why yes to this?
I make smoothies every day. That's my breakfast.
Okay. Toaster.
Vance loves his toaster waffles.
All right, then I think we're about done. One room left to go.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got some work to do. So, this castle, it's pretty big.
It's gonna go 2.
High five right there. Perfect. You just got yourself a castle. All right. Well, all of these dolls, I want to see your 5 favorite.
This one. This one.
Okay, that's
the
2.
that I lost.
You have 3 more.
I want her.
Perfect.
Spider Girl.
Spider-Girl, that's 5. Great. We're done with dolls.
Who knew Vance was gonna have such an easy time? I mean, goes to show you can never predict the inner workings of a 7-year-old mind.
Okay, let's load up the dolls that we're keeping. We'll put them in here.
Make sure we don't ruin hair.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because I like this hair.
Okay, you put it in there. I don't want to ruin the hair. Let's talk about these stuffed animals real quick.
I like all of them.
Well, they're not all gonna fit. Do you play with this one?
No, but I sleep with it.
Red Bear or Pillow?
Let me look at them.
Look at them. Get some consistency. Oh, I know, they're nice, right?
I know I'm keeping them.
This is hard, I know that. I totally get that. It's not fun to give away your stuff. So, I think you've done a really good job.
Back at the build site, Zach's taking Tiny to a whole other level with Vance's custom dollhouse. But he's still unsure if he's taking steampunk in the right direction. So I found him a mentor, a local steampunk shop owner, Professor Julian Raintree.
This is a Civil War era medical vaporizer that I've transformed.
The Edison light bulb? We gotta get some of these.
Edison, or filament bulbs, are designed to be used without a lampshade, and they really give a room a 19th century accent. They come in all shapes and sizes, and the price for each can range from $4 on up.
This is actually going to be an entertainment station.
Can you help us figure out if there's a way to make it more steampunky?
I think it's fabulous.
Really?
I like the series of the holes. I like the rust. I like the wood. Since you're doing electronics, you take some copper wire and coil it around a dowel and attach it to a strange-looking box and then run it up on your screen, up matching one on the other side.
So it looks like that's powering the TV or something.
Yes.
I think I'm starting to understand this whole steampunk thing. I'm actually just noticing your goggles.
Those are pretty sweet.
It's like the end of a light bulb and maybe the water bottle mouth.
A lot of little bits and pieces I've cobbled together.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you like my goggles, I've got some for you.
Seriously?
You got them.
Oh, that's cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Michelle and Vance need to be out of their apartment and on the road in just 4 days. So Zach and the crew waste no time priming the exterior and cutting holes for the porthole windows to give the house a nautical look. I'm bringing Michelle and Vance by for their first look at their new 340 square foot tiny home.
So there she is.
Oh, wow. That is really tall. Oh, wow.
It is tall.
That is so
Zach,
cool.
you got a sec? This is Zach. He's been grinding away, working hard
Awesome, I
here.
can tell.
Welcome to your
Wow.
tiny house.
You're standing in the kitchen right now.
Awesome.
We got 2 lofts. They both need ladders.
Yep.
We're gonna have 2 ship ladders,
That's awesome.
which might, you know,
Yep.
come back to your Navy days.
You know what's up there? That is your loft bedroom area. I like that. What's this area, Zach?
Underneath Vance's loft is your living room area.
That's really small.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a big advocate of tables. I'm just wondering about maybe having a space to work with my computer and stuff, because I feel like this is gonna be smaller than I thought.
Are you telling me you need a table now?
I think it might be nice.
Oh, you want a table now? Perfect. Zach's gonna kill me. Is this table strictly for working, or are you talking about
something-
dining table?
Even just
thing
something
now?
for my laptop.
That opens our options a lot.
Okay, okay.
You know, if we know that it's not, you know, you're not trying to seat 6 people.
No.
Okay.
No, we're good.
I get it. There's not really a space there to do work, so I'm with her. I just don't know exactly where it's gonna go. If there's any other changes or suggestions that you have, now's the time.
Or
Okay,
fears,
yeah.
or wants, or...
I gotta say, I've never pulled a trailer before. You know, I understand it's under 14 feet tall. It still feels like it's about 25 feet tall. The thing feels huge. So I'm worried about driving it, as well as just braking and all the basics.
It's really about just getting yourself comfortable with at least backing it up a little bit.
See, that's a concern.
That's interesting. Okay, that's something for us to consider.
Michelle and her son Vance will be moving into their new tiny home in just a few days, so Zach and I don't have much time to figure out a way to get Michelle comfortable behind the wheel of a trailer. It's day 4 and it's full steampunk ahead with the build. Outside, the crew's installing metal seam roofing with a copper-colored enamel finish, and on the inside, they're working on the lofts, giving them accessibility with nautically inspired ship ladders as well as privacy.
Zach? Oh my God.
After meeting the professor, I realized that we haven't gone nearly steampunk enough, and so I'm really trying to embrace this whole idea.
There's no doubt in my mind that Zach's made the quantum leap to steampunk. There's no turning back now.
She wants the space to be as open as possible.
Of course.
I agree. But then she also needs that privacy. And so this is kind of like that balance in between. When it's solid, it's going to be a wall.
Yeah.
And then when you spin it, now it's open. And I want to make it with like a mechanism that kind of drives the whole thing.
Kind of steampunky looking.
Yeah.
Reminds me of something industrial that you'd see in a big factory. I'm sorry. I just keep looking at you with those. I feel like we're in like, you're in the sidecar, like we're on the motorcycle. Just so silly. Yeah. All right, well, listen, it's looking good.
I'm glad you like the louvers.
I do, man.
I'm definitely going to do something to make it even more steampunk.
While Zach keeps cranking on the privacy blinds, I'm taking Michelle on a shopping trip to pick out some steampunk items for her house.
I cannot wait to show you this place. You're gonna love it.
I'm excited.
There's so much good stuff here, and I feel like a lot of good steampunk sort of aesthetic. I think we look around and see if there's a couple pieces that we can
Definitely.
have some fun with.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ooh, what is that?
An iron oven.
Yeah.
For me, that's really steampunky.
It does have that feel, for sure. You can put little shelves in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally could make that useful. Kind of cool. What do you think about something like this?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
You got a good eye. You're like picking these things. Well, you know what? I mean, look, that's a porthole. You literally hang these on the wall, and they don't take up any space at all.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know?
What about this?
That would fit so well.
Nice. I mean,
Yeah,
it's got
it's
that sort of
perfect.
Victorian thing, which is very steampunk.
No, this is great. I love this.
I mean, good that our work here is done.
Everything Michelle picked out will be delivered to us later today, but I've brought back some additional steampunk items that I'd like to show Zach.
Come over here, I gotta show you something.
Check this out. What do you think?
Is this what we're using for the bathtub?
Yep.
That looks like something I could take a bath in.
Using unconventional bathtubs like a horse trough is a great way to maximize on space in tiny bathrooms. If you want other creative options, how about this handmade Japanese copper soaking tub or this stainless steel high neck version? For an eco-friendly idea, try repurposing a wine barrel. When it comes to soaking solutions, using vertical space is the way to go.
Let's maybe think about how we can just tie in some piping or some steam gauges. If we can do as many elements with the steampunk theme, I think this would be perfect.
And you know, actually to that point.
These are Edison bulbs?
Yeah, these are all the Edison bulbs.
So cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And look at these like fixtures, like that, total steampunk. I feel like we've got a lot of good stuff for the house.
Let's do it.
It's day 5 of the build. While the crew is installing siding and adding corrugated metal panels and piping to steampunk the exterior, the kitchen countertops are being created from scratch. A mixture of dyed concrete and plain concrete is poured into a mold containing metal shards and shavings. The concrete and metal are carefully blended to give the countertop a steampunk look. It dries overnight and is sealed with silicone. Meanwhile, Zach and I are getting ready to teach a little driver's ed to Michelle.
Hey!
Hi.
What's going on?
That's what my question is.
We need to get you some wheel time, and this is our resident expert. He's gonna ride with you. He's gonna talk you through.
I do think that there is, you know, certain things that you need to be comfortable doing, you know, before you take it out on the highway, let alone in an inner city.
Yeah.
Zach's gonna teach you how to do a 3-point turn.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Honestly, it's the hardest thing you'll have to do while driving a tiny house.
Well, for everybody, there's a bit of a learning curve right there, first time backing up a trailer.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Stay about 5 feet away from the curb and just pull up next to it until the trailer is just past this opening for this driveway.
Okay.
And you're gonna back into this area.
Okay.
If you're going in reverse and you turn the wheel to the right, that means that your trailer hitch is also gonna go to the right.
So I gotta go opposite that.
Exactly. So first things first, you're gonna turn your tires to the left.
Okay.
Now I want you to give it a little bit of gas. Yep. Now straighten out just a little bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, and stop. Now you're gonna get your tires to the right. As you back up, the car's gonna actually track. Looking good. Okay, release. Not quite as hard to the right. Now just send it all the way back. All right, turn as hard as you can.
Straighten it out?
Nope, nope, nope. I mean, Okay. All right. I don't think you hit anything. All right. When you're backing up, sometimes the trailer is going to hit on some of the pavement.
Oh, okay,
So that's what it was.
Okay, whew, I'm like, oh, there's somebody's car.
So now you're going to turn out of it.
Okay.
And you're going to make this turn.
And go that way?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So there you go.
You did it!
Yes! First try, no less.
You're a pro! That was awesome! Teacher of the year! Come on!
Get a plaque for that.
We've got one more day left before we need to finish this house because tomorrow we'll need to move it to Antelope Island State Park, where Michelle and her son Vance will start their new tiny house adventure. While the appliances are being delivered, Zach's installing the steampunk-style mechanism that will open and close Michelle's privacy blinds.
Hey, there you are. Wow, it is looking really good in here.
Paneling's really close to done.
Yeah.
Looks super good. We're not using any nails at all. It's using an industrial glue.
Yeah, okay.
So you glue both sides and then you press them together. First time I've done it, and I like it. And then, you want to see the splitzer valve?
Oh yeah, the splitzer valve.
Fortunately, I turned it over to Carl, made it his problem, but come check out. It's pretty much turning into a work of art here.
Ooh.
Yeah, see?
This is gonna be functioning?
You betcha.
I love it.
Cold water, hot water. If you want a shower, you close this valve.
Water will come out on top. If you want it back, you'll open it.
Okay.
It'll come out in the bottom. And then the sink is over here.
Oh, dude.
It's actually an oil pan. Does that not say steampunk?
This is so cool.
And these two valves will control the sink.
You guys are knocking it out of the ballpark. She is gonna love that.
All right, well, while we're on successes,
Yeah.
You want to see the dollhouse?
Yes, yes.
This is officially my tiniest house that I've ever built.
Oh, man, that looks good. Look at that. It's big. Dude, there's more space than I thought. Like, it fits in here really well.
Okay.
These things, man, turned out so cool.
I think this one's my favorite.
This is so Zach Giffen right here. Like, oh, I'm making a little doll chair that no one's gonna see, and yet you still get the grain to line up. I love that you put that much detail. That's awesome.
I was gonna build a bed, and that's it. So,
And then just painting it.
and a handrail, and that's all I'm doing.
Yeah, and a door jamb.
Well, no, the door is already trimmed.
He's putting trim around the doors. He's talking about making a railing. I mean, what kind of detail for a dollhouse? Only Zach.
It's the last day of the build, and we have to move this house in less than 12 hours, so it's all hands on deck. While the crew is racing to get the multicolored wood flooring laid, the alternating tread ship ladders are being installed for access to the lofts. These ladders will help give Michelle's tiny house that nautical accent she's been asking for. And I'm jumping in to spray the exterior metal siding with an oxidizing compound that will give it a rusty steampunk look.
What's up, bud?
Hey.
What you working on?
Well, I'm kind of just frantically getting this desk together.
Oh, okay. Can you show me what it looks like real quick?
So there's gonna be a nice barn door that's gonna cover it up. Oh. So the barn door is gonna be on a slider. It slides out, and then you'll have the cubbies. And then this desk goes inside here. This will actually be on drawer sliders.
Okay.
You pull this out. Now this flops down and gives her a place to do work.
Oh, that's nice.
My only issue with it is that it's such last minute. I don't really have any good ideas for how this is gonna be steampunk. I don't really have any good ideas for how this is gonna be steampunk.
Maybe just dress up the barn doors or something?
Maybe I can use some of the leftover metal from the entertainment center.
Yeah, I think that metal looked really good. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man.
While Zach finishes the desk and starts steampunking the barn door, the rest of the crew is busy finishing up in other parts of the house. The steampunk-styled fans are being mounted, and the front door with the nautical porthole accent is being situated. Now it's time to move this tiny house to Antelope Island State Park, about an hour away, where Michelle and Vance will be RV camping for several days.
Let's do this.
You want to know my very favorite part about moving tiny houses?
What?
All the looks that you get from everybody else.
But it's a good look. It's a
sweet look.
Oh, here we are at Antelope Island. Oh, this is awesome. Now we can start to see the reflections.
This is beautiful.
What a beautiful day to be doing this.
I mean, right? Is that a buffalo?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's this little road right here.
We've arrived in Antelope Island State Park just in time, and before we hand the keys over to Michelle, there's just a few finishing touches left. 1 week ago, we arrived in Ogden, Utah to help Michelle and her son Vance build the tiny home of their dreams. We helped them pare down to their bare essentials and got them into the tiny house mindset. We taught Michelle how to drive an oversized trailer, and we built our very first steampunk-inspired tiny home. Now it's time to welcome Michelle and her son to the tiny house community.
Oh, this looks so cool.
What's up?
Look at this.
Yeah.
That looks so amazing.
How are you?
So good.
How's it going, Vance?
Look at this.
There's a lot I want to tell you about on the outside.
Okay,
Just
definitely.
starting with these steel panels on here. We used an oxidizing solution to give it that rusty steampunk look.
That is so cool looking.
So it wasn't just steampunk.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the whole nautical
Right?
theme going back to your Navy days.
I love the whirls. What a great addition. I love that.
Nice. You are fired up to get in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're gonna let the two of you guys go in there and explore the space for a little bit. Then we'll come in and we'll talk to you about some of the cool things. But for now, I think it's time for you guys to see your new house.
All right. That's perfect.
All right, have fun.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Look at these cool chairs hanging up. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Look at this couch, though. I picked this couch out. Oh, my gosh, look at that.
I know.
I love this entertainment stuff, the way they did this. Yeah, that entertainment center is so steampunk. I love the cool, like, pipe work they did on it, and then the chain that's around the other side, and it's mixed with that dark wood color. It looks really cool. I love that fan. That is perfect. They put my Navy hat up. Yeah, they put my Navy hat up.
I'm going up my
This is
stairs.
so cool. Be careful heading up there. Just be careful heading up there. What?
Oh my God.
That's the coolest dollhouse I've ever seen in my life. Literally.
Look, they even have a real bed.
Wow, Vance.
I love my dollhouse. We're moving in here today.
Oh, this place is amazing. Hey.
So, what do you guys think?
Wow, it's overwhelming almost. It's so amazing.
Right?
I'm so impressed. I didn't know what to expect, really. Kind of coming into it, I knew what I had in my head, but I didn't know if it was going to come out that way, and it came out better.
This is your desk area. You just pull it open, and then now this folds down.
See?
And that just goes right there.
That's awesome.
Now you can sit legs underneath. We got a couple chairs for you.
Perfect. I love the clock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
And that matches that.
This is our entertainment center.
It looks amazing.
This lamp, too.
Oh. I think my favorite part about the house is actually the lighting. The lighting really gives it that steampunk edge with the Edison light bulbs and then the cool pipework everywhere. I'm so impressed with what they did.
I want to get into the kitchen.
Oh, absolutely.
The kitchen is big.
It is. It feels so open in here.
Yes.
Oh.
And I mean, that's no accident.
This whole run of cabinets is only 20 inches deep. And what that does is open up this space so you don't feel kind of closed in on. And then if you notice over here, it's bumped out so it can fit a full-size sink.
And it's a washer dryer.
Oh, I'm so excited about that.
You remember this piece? We just got some plates and some dish towels in there. Just a lot of counter space.
I was seeing little spirals in here, right?
Yes, so this is concrete, okay?
Oh, wow.
And they pull these little scraps of metal and they put it in here, put some stain in here, put a little like rock to just give it that steampunk look.
It's beautiful. It's such a cool design.
Actually, the colors in here too go really nice with the floor.
I love the floor too. Everything just comes together in here. It's so cool.
Yeah. All right, can we go into the bathroom?
Yes,
Because
yes.
I want to talk about this. And there it is.
Oh my gosh, it's here.
Everything you see, it really harkens back
It does.
to this. And that was a really key piece of inspiration for us.
I'm so impressed. The fact that they managed to make that piece that I gave John be workable, my mind is blown. I cannot wait to use this. It's so exciting.
And of course, we couldn't have a bathroom without some makeup storage for you.
Absolutely.
Obviously, on the other side here,
Yeah.
composting toilet.
But if you decide you want to settle down, we actually included water lines so that you can connect to a flush toilet.
Perfect.
It's easy and done. Hey, Vance. Oh, I see you found the dollhouse.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
Really?
There's a dining room, a staircase, and a bedroom.
Is this actually better than your castle?
Yeah.
Really? It's
Yeah.
even cooler than your castle?
Yeah.
Yes!
Thank you for the dollhouse.
You are so welcome.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So, such a little bedside table. We got the mom, I love you.
That's the best.
And then this is an area where you can have a little bit of privacy. They can also open up to give this space a much bigger feel.
Nice.
How they open is so steampunk and so cool that I'm not gonna do it. I want Zach to do it. This is steampunk. I mean, this is a piece of artwork that is gonna make this house pop.
So this is my idea of steampunk. It's industrial, but it's also kind of whimsical and playful. So basically what it does is just give it little turns.
Oh, I love it. That is so cool.
There you go.
Good job.
So it's ready for you to take across the country, travel around, spend time with Vance, and just know that wherever you are, You're always gonna be home. You're always gonna have this here. And so, really, on behalf of Zach and I and the whole build team, welcome to the Tiny House Nation. Here's the key to your new house.
Thank you.
Oh, congrats. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Dude, nice. Really cool. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, got a high five.
All right, we're gonna let you guys enjoy it, okay? It's been 1 month since Michelle and her son Vance started their newest journey as members of the tiny house community. Has Michelle been able to successfully navigate her tiny house trailer? And has Vance adjusted to life with less toys? We're headed to Salt Lake City, Utah, where they're currently RV camping to find out.
That spot right there. The decision to go tiny has made life simple, and Vance and I get to spend a lot of time together, which was my goal. Right. I think we did a good job pulling it in. Looks about right. Living in the tiny house feels pretty good now. The first couple days were a little anxiety-ridden, trying to figure out how I'm gonna fit all my stuff in the house, and I've had to go through some more stuff and get rid of a lot more things, which has been good. Perfect spot. But you know, it's really calm now. I feel really good. Every time I'm looking for something, I know exactly where it's at, and everything has a little spot, and it's actually really cool and feeling. I like it. Do you want some cottage cheese?
Yes, 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 yes. Cottage cheese, please. All right.
Everything's gotten so much more relaxed. I don't stress about cleaning, and when I do clean, it takes me all of maybe 45 minutes for a top to bottom cleaning. So it's been really nice. Did you get your toys put away? Don't just throw them up there. Make sure they're put away nice, okay? And this is our new house, man. We gotta make it look good.
My favorite thing about living tiny is my room in the dollhouse. It actually has lights and that it actually has doll stairs in it. I'm really happy.
I've made a few changes in the house since we moved in. In the living room, I've added some cool little storage bins that I actually customized so they match the interior and they look pretty cool. They don't just look like plastic bins. The workstation has been really cool. It's nice to have a little spot for my computer and tablet, that kind of thing. The thing that surprised me the most is I was planning on getting a stool for it so I could sit down, but I find that the height is absolutely perfect to stand and work, and I like doing that, so it's been wonderful. Those are fun. I like those a lot. We're gonna have to sum that for sure. My bathroom's pretty darn big for a tiny house, and it's amazing. So first off, for a little privacy, I decorated the windows a bit. We kept with the steampunk theme and used the pipe to make the closet rack. So I built this little setup just to kind of give us some room on the countertop. The sink itself, I painted a black enamel. Additionally, we set it up with an on-demand propane hot water heater, so no matter where we go, I get to have hot water, which is really nice. Give me a high five. All right, let's go. I think the decision to go tiny has been an amazing benefit to my life. I'm so happy living this way and having such a carefree kind of lifestyle. Vance adjusted very well to it. It's really made my life a lot easier. I think I would be able to live like this forever, well, because everywhere I go, I've got my home with me, and it's wonderful.